So I wake up this morning and I heard that some places had a gas shortage. So I say to my husband, he's shaking his head. I said, I want to get some groceries because even though there's not a shortage or whatever the problem is, I said, I don't want to go to the store and not be able to have things that we need, because if we go to the store, it's like a half an hour, and then, if you go there and you can't get your stuff, it's a pain. So we drove out and we did double groceries really this month. So we went grocery shopping, and like always, we spent more than you should. And then also, too, Clay had some projects he's working on. I'll show you one of them right here. All right. This here had like a little dip in it. And I put a mat here, and then Clay drilled holes in it. So, whoops. So we put some rocks here, but we still have to add some more rock up in there. That tree there, the wind keeps blowing it.
That groove back there, whenever anything would blow, leaves and papers and everything else, it would fill that right up.
And that little...
put stones in there so that at least we can pick them up out of it.
Yeah.
Like a mess.
Yeah, because that little bird fell over. I got to pick him up. And then
there's a mud puddle in front of the steps there. So I put
we're turning around, guys.
I put the stones down so that if the water does build up, it'll be under the stones.
And we did have a nice driveway here, but we're letting it turn into grass. Just because we can, right, dear?
Well, the grass holds the stones tighter together, too.
So, when you live in the country, you can do things like that. It's just a little different, but... So, we got a mat. He got a call from the bee guy. Thinks the day to see the bee guy.
That cat's tail's all chewed off.
He is. Oh, did somebody be mean to you? That's poor pussy cat.
What cat is that?
I thought it was Caesar, but it's somebody else, and he's pretty friendly.
Yeah, but the hair's all tore off in its tail.
Did somebody be mean to you?
Somebody ate the
poor little stray
fur
cat. That must be a female because it's tiny.
Yeah.
That's where Cece the cat is.
Well, that's when she turns around, you see her tail.
Aww. Was somebody mean to you? Some of them let me pat them. If it comes over, I'll pat it. Otherwise, I'll let it be.
Well, she's friendly about it. She's just laying in the shade.
She's gonna sit and take a break. We have a ton of feral cats around here. So.
Well, it's from the restaurant next door.
Yeah, they eat over there and then they come over here.
They leave the garbage can open, so they eat out of the hopper.
And then Clay this is awful, but thank goodness I noticed it. Clay has this little thing that it's like you put your plants underneath it, or the dirt, and you shake it out. Well, I went in the yard and I was just cleaning the yard and working, and evidently a cat.
Well, I laid it up against the greenhouse so that I could mow, and then you found the cat under.
The cat got trapped under there, and he was not a friendly one. I just flipped it up and he ran. Poor little thing.
I don't know how long because I mowed like last Thursday.
No, he wasn't there for more than a day. You know how I know that? Because the day before I was out there and I was looking at it. That's how I know, because I was moving all the pots and garden stuff, but still I felt bad for him.
I didn't notice if that sift was tipped over or not. All I know.
No, because it was laying.
I know I laid it on the side of the greenhouse.
No, because I moved it there. That's why it was laying there. So I don't even know how it got underneath that.
Well, like I said, I laid it against the greenhouse, and he might have stepped on the side of it and it just flipped over on top of it.
No, I think that was already that way, because the other day I was over there working on the pots. But either way, I felt bad for him.
Well, he got away.
Yeah, but he wasn't there more than a day, but I still felt bad for him. Because it's like, oh, and I let him out, and then he ran. But he was vicious and, But he's just under Clay's car, relaxing. I won't bother him.
That's not the one that was under the box, or was it?
No, that one was mangy and He was like, I think what happened to him is I think that the day before I was moving the pots and everything, and I moved the sifter over to move the pots. Then I think that he must have saw a mouse or something and got under there and he couldn't get out. And so then I think he might have got rained on overnight. And because he looked kind of like, you know,
Scruffy?
real scruffy. But he looked like, I don't even think I ever saw that cat here before. So I went and I opened up the thing and let him out. But I felt bad for him because, you know, he must have got rained on overnight. But I didn't even know he was there. You know, I was like, oh my goodness, there's a cat under here. So that was the first. So I don't know how. I mean, it was like
my
a small spot.
I got a text message, and my bees are going to be a little late because the guy said they weren't quite ready to be. He was having problems with the queen. So I don't know whether he was waiting for a virgin queen to mate or if he's waiting for a queen to hatch. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it might be another 2 weeks.
So that was a little discouraging, huh?
Well, he said he'll let me know by Friday.
But at least he was honest. You know, he didn't give you a queenless.
Today's Wednesday, so another couple of days he'll let me know.
He didn't give you a queenless hive or anything.
No, that was a good thing.
So he tried to do what he could, so that's fine. I mean, you got to address your problems. So I'd buy from him again just because he did that. You know what I mean? Even if he can't come up with a queen this year. I thought it was Caesar at first, but Caesar's a Caesarette. But there's Caesars around here too.
That's some other cat.
I think that's a mother cat too. She has kittens. Yeah, that is a mother cat. She's
the one that was walking out around the barn.
Do you want me to get you something for your kittens? Should I give her that? Should I give her that Spam ham?
No, she needs to rest.
Yes, I'm not gonna go over near her. I'm gonna let her just relax. She comes over here, but she trusts us because she came right that close. Yeah, that's the mother cat. Oh, she's gonna come up here. Could be Caesar. Caesar. No, Caesar. Caesar
come. Look at her tail when she comes.
Oh, did somebody be mean to you?
Somebody tore her tail. Maybe a dog.
Y'all, we'll be safe here. We love kitties. Do you want a snack? I'm just gonna let her be. This one I think is the one I petted before. Oh, somebody was mean to you. Yeah, let her rest. Poor
probably sore. Her tail's probably sore.
Oh, poor thing.
She just went out back.
Yeah, I think that is the mother cat because I remember I said Caesar's a Caesarette, and then I saw Caesar later on, and he was rolling around. Caesar lets me pet him. That's the female.
Well, the one that had the kitten in her mouth was a.
That was her.
Gray and white,
That's her. That's the mother. Somebody got her. Aww.
Maybe they slammed the garbage thing on her tail. I don't know.
Yeah, but she could have gotten stuck in the dumpster at the restaurant or something. Poor little. She must really be in pain. Aww.
That's what we can do for her.
Well, just pray for her. So, okay, guys. So that's today's event. Clay and I got lots of projects, and
I had to write a few. That's what I was doing when you started the video. I was writing down honeydew list.
And
for the yard.
I'm spending the day putting groceries away, and
well, one more thing, got to do that door on the back porch. I got to tear that apart.
Oh yeah.
I turned the water on yesterday, so.
Can I go show where you want to walk back there?
No, I'm all right.
Well, I'm not going to show you guys because Clay said I'm not allowed to go back there.
Not until I get a railing up.
Because there's you open up the door, and on the side there's a huge hole. You guys will see him fixing it. I'll show it to you. But he doesn't want me to go back there because we have rules for each other. He doesn't want me to slip and fall.
Well, I don't want you to fall down that basement.
Right, so it's just too dangerous. That's why we got rid of the chickens, guys, because when I broke my wrist the second time and he went to the barn door and it was huffing and puffing, and I said, we're done. He's like, yep, we're done. We knew it. It was just too much for the winter.
I'm just trying to get my energy back.
Well, it's too much for the winter with the snow and the ice.
I'm starting where I can get around good now.
But it's not just...
I'm building up my muscles and my energy. Because you got to remember, I was down for...
Oh, a long time.
A long time. Because I went right from that
Diabetes.
lower abdominal infection right into having my hip done.
Yeah, so he had like a bunch of stuff. So I was doing double for my trouble, right? And then after that, I broke my wrist. So it was just like, so anyway, now we're playing catch up. No big deal. That's life.
But it makes it easier without me having to concentrate on the chickens. We might want some chickens later on, but right now I'm going to concentrate on the yard and the bees and the garden.
There goes the logging truck. Right, well, that's the thing. Right now, we're just going to take care of what we need to. Play catch up. I got painting to do, and
I got some shaving to do. I'm getting
that's okay.
looking old and grizzly.
You can be old and grizzly. I like old and grizzly.
I don't.
I like old and grizzly. So we sit out here, we watch these birds all day long. We've got all kinds of good stuff coming out here. But we have my favorite bird, which is the sparrow. Right, sparrow, yeah. Because they're faithful. You can have all kinds of people that work for you or people that help you, but the faithful ones are the best.
Well, they eat a lot of bugs and stuff too.
Yeah, they always come. They always show up. And then we have hummingbirds, feeders set up, and we did see our first hummingbird too.
I saw that, 2 of them yesterday.
So that was nice. So, anyway. So what do I say if it's not true? If it doesn't make sense?
That's what Judge Judy says.
If it
doesn't make sense, it's not true.
That's what he always says, and then I always say, well, that's not true.
It is true.
Well, there are some really weird things in life that don't make sense, that are true.
Judge Judy would never lie to you about something like that.
No. I just...
There's a hummingbird right there.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, birdie. That was cool. So he'll come back.
Oh, ruby-throated.
Was that? That's pretty.
It was a male.
So there you guys go. They got really far flapping wings. I moved my hand to get a close-up. I wonder if that's why I left, or he already got a drink. I don't know.
I'm sure they got eggs or chicks somewhere. They'll be back and forth more if they get chicks. It's nice that they come right up when you're sitting here.
Oh, so you can see, you know, we can just rest out here. We can watch the traffic. We can watch the...
Just like old people.
Just like old people. Well, a lot of people around here don't sit on their front porch like we do. We weren't allowed to sit on the front porch when we were kids. Mom and Dad had 7 kids. We could only play in the backyard.
There was 5 of us, and we got up in the morning and got dressed. Mom would say, "Everybody outdoors!" And we'd all be outdoors from sun up to sundown. Sometimes wait late in the night because we had had some neighbors moved in across the road. We were kids, and we'd be out all night playing hide and seek and all kinds of stuff. Late into the night.
We used to play outside a lot during the day. And
back then you could let your kids play outside and not have to worry about them so much.
We used to play in our backyard, but we could go in the front as we got older. But see, I actually grew up in a house that had a busy road like this. So that was another reason I think my parents didn't want us outside, because it was dangerous. And we had a fenced-in backyard. And when I was real little, we used to play in the anthill. We'd sit on this hill. It was just a little mound, and we'd take our toys and shovels and dig. And my parents would have to bring us in to take us a bath, because you can imagine how filthy we'd be.
You were filthy.
So that
little
I'm
kids.
sure we didn't play in there all the time. I think I had just memories of that probably because, it was the ant hell. So we had a good time doing that. Of course, then again, we may have played in every day. I don't know. I had four sisters and two brothers. And you had how many kids in your family?
Well, there was a lot of them because some of them were already grown up by the time I was born. There was Larry, Ruthie, Helen, and I never met Ruthie or Helen. They were already grown up and gone when I think I saw Ruthie once when I was 5 years old. Then there was Sylvia, Chrissy, Rick, Mark, and myself. And then there was my little sister who died at birth was Susie. And that was the last of us. So I ended up being a baby.
He was baby. And I was the second to the youngest, but I was like the baby too because my parents had all these girls, and then I came out and I had a head full of real curly hair, and then I had a baby brother later, not later, like a couple years later, and he was the baby too, so it was like they had two babies. So, and I can remember my older sisters must have loved having me. They put me in a baby carriage and wheel me through the hall, so they probably felt like they had a baby. You know how little girls would say, "Oh, little baby." But I remember my legs hanging over the side of the baby carriage, so I must have been a pretty big baby. Oh, gee, that's so funny thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah, we used to go out in the woods and cut the bottoms off in grapevines and swing like Tarzan and all kinds of. Used to go into the barn, the hay loft, walk across the beams, and have sword fights with the electric cattle prods. I always got the weakest one. So you can imagine with my oldest brother, our older brother, he always got the high-powered one. And you can imagine who got the worst of the deal. As we were growing up.
Oh boy, that must have been something.
And if you fell off the beam, you landed right on the bales of hay.
Oh.
And believe me, them bales of hay aren't soft.
And Clay and I actually lived like 2 counties away from each other, so we didn't know each other or wouldn't have been near each other at all. So, and then I lived in like a suburb. Well, not even a suburb. I lived in like, what they did was they built a house and they were going to build a whole development there, but because there was no water, they just built the one house, and then they put a well in, and so then my mom and dad, after somebody else lived in it first, and then they were the second owner, but it was a really cool house because it was like, it had intercoms and different things in it because it was like a state-of-the-art. It was a really nice house, but they lived there for 30 years on and off because we lived there. Then my parents moved to teach printing at a Bible school, and then they moved back after 4 years into the same house, after that, because they weren't going to school there. They just came to set up the print shop for the Bible school and to get that. It was like a whole big department. So I had 4 years of my life that as a kid, I grew up with a bunch of college kids. It was really kind of cool. But anyway, there was other children too that were there that were on the staff at the thing, and we all went to the public school and things like that. So it was just a different life. So as a kid, I met people from around the world that would come and play with us and do things and come to our home. We'd have these ministers and people that wanted printing jobs. And then my dad was also an engineer, so when I got older, he had different, because he owned a printing company too, besides being an engineer. He was like a boss and these drafting engineers. He was an engineer, and they would come to his house, and then we met people from around the world there. They'd come and talk to us, and we play with their kids, and they play with us, and just an interesting life. And then Clay's dad was a logger and had tons of horses, So we've had a rich life, huh? Haven't we?
Yep.
But we met each other, if you didn't know. We only met each other 11 years ago. We'll be married 10 years this year. So,
10 years.
that's what I said, Dad. 10 years. So, and we've been happy ever since. It's a storybook romance. We'll have to do another video on all that, but it's just a long... We don't have enough time in this video, but we're having fun, enjoying the day, chit-chatting with you guys, watching the traffic, watching the animals. I hope the kittens are okay. Maybe somebody tried to attack her kittens and she got in a fight.
I don't know. Could have been a raccoon or a possum.
She could have gotten in a fight over her kittens. Well, I hope she's okay, because that was just unusual for her to sit there.
I think she took the kittens and...
I thought she brought the kittens across the street for some reason. But
no, I think she took them around the fence. I think she went into
one of the
Storm's doghouse.
Oh, okay. So, well, we'll see the
Because there was some straw and there was some old blankets in there, so she might have took the kittens in there.
Yeah. So, Storm, we had 2 dogs. We had...
I had Storm for 15 years.
Yeah, both of us, when we got together, we both had a dog. I had a Boston Terrier, he had a Border Collie, and they both passed away. Because when we got together, they were both old. So both of them were like 15. So...
Well, I had a dachshund, female dachshund. She was 21. And then she got hit by the mailman.
Aww.
Over on Coleman Road.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when you... And then... So I had a Boston Terrier, like I said, the entire time my son was growing up. And, of course, my son's married, too, since we lived in this house. But anyway...
Of course, you had to go search for Ricky. She was the little female dachshund. She'd go from door to door looking for somebody to feed her. She'd come up missing. You'd have to go up to my dad's or go over to my brother's house.
Because Clay his dad had, like, property, and then he gave pieces of his property to...
Dad's house, then it was my house, then it was my brother Rick's house.
Yeah, so he, like, some of his brother, well, I guess you and your one brother, his dad had property, and he just, like, the guys gave up pieces of property for his boys.
Gave us a deed for each one of our properties.
Yeah, so they all just had houses right near each other, so that was kind of cool. But, anyway, I guess with that, guys, I'll let everybody go, because, I gotta go get my coffee. So, guys, remember...
I'm about ready to go and take my sneakers off.
Yeah, you gonna take your nap?
I don't take a nap this late.
I know. I take a nap any old time. When I get... I'll go. When I get tired, I drop, take my nap, get up, and...
I get ready for a nap about 1:30 in the afternoon or 2 o'clock, and then Then I only close my eyes for like 15 minutes, if that. And
I know.
Then I'm refreshed again and get up and do some more stuff. I really wasn't going to do that until you were up from your nap.
I don't always take a nap, but when I do...
She naps. She snores.
I never snore.
You snore.
Show how I snore. I'm a loud snorer.
I have to turn the TV up, and then she wakes up and says, "Why is the TV so loud?"
You woke me up? No, I don't say you woke me up. I just say the TV's loud. I'm always saying...
Why is the TV so loud?
I'm always
can
saying,
you turn it down?
I'm always saying, turn the TV
I'm
down.
thinking, I can turn it down, but can you?
I don't mind that I snore. It is who I am. But I try not to snore, but if I'm sleeping, I don't know.
Can't help it if you snore.
So, okay, guys. I got to get that coffee, because when I wake up from my nap, I need my second cup of coffee, or third or fourth, or whatever it is. Okay, guys, remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm. God bless.